We've got an agricultural problem with rats in the south of England today. Plus we get up close and personal with roe deer in Denmark. There's news, there's hunting YouTube. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. What do you do when the rat man does a toxicology test on your rat tails and discovers they're immune to the poison? You need to rely on other methods. In this case, it's Cai Ap Bryn and his Air Arms TDR. This farm is in Kent. Like many places this year, it's having a tough time with our rodent friends. And not surprisingly, there's plenty of free food and shelter, making their homes under the chicken sheds.
Shuriken dust masks.
It's the sheds where we will be concentrating our efforts tonight. However, not all the rats are indoors.
So what is this area here and what's happening with it?
Right, so this area, this is like an internal scratching area for the chickens when they're shut up at night.
Okay.
But the trouble is we've got a raised floor, so of course it's perfect environment for the rats to live. But at the minute, as we're mucking the floors out, these are like supports that they've just thrown out, and then they'll go back in again when we've mucked it out.
Mucked and cleaned out. So
yeah.
There's 1, 2, 3, 5.
Yeah.
There's 5 holes.
Bob holes, yeah.
Bob holes in here. So
that's so the chickens can walk to and fro, yeah.
Literally, I just looked about a minute ago, and there was about 10,
yeah.
just 10, just there.
That's just there.
It's a little bit too dark without the night vision, even though it's quite light in here.
Yeah.
So we have to leave it a little bit longer till it gets a bit dark.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be some great viewing with the night vision.
Definitely.
Some good sport as well.
A few dead
I
rats.
can't wait. This Air Arms S410, the TDR version, is literally perfect for this kind of work. It's so light, it's easy to carry around, it's not getting weighty, it's not tiring me out.
A couple of the sheds are empty, ready to be cleaned. Others are full of poultry. These are egg layers and not for eating. Without the night vision, we just wouldn't be able to see into the dark corners of the sheds. Plus, we need to keep the lights off in the main shed to give us the best chance of catching those rats unawares. Cai makes a start, and this is when you need a second magazine. The rats are here in abundance.
I've got 10 shots, I've probably got about 6 or 7 rats maybe. It's all a bit fast, it's all a bit furious, rather exciting. Some of them are further away than the others, it's very, very difficult to tell the distance. So a couple of them just dropped underneath, or just over, but as soon as you hit them they kind of roll off the back and go off the side, so I'm very pleased with that. We've only just got in here.
Cai spends 15 minutes inside the muck-filled sheds. Then we all need some fresh air. It gives us a chance to have a look around the yard. Finally, we're in the hen house. Cai needs to be ultra careful, but these rats have got to go.
It's really hot, it's really humid. Stinks of ammonia, the chickens. Really dusty. Smelly. Oh, it's awful. It's like being in a car with David. I've got things in my face, I don't know if they're mites or flies or something, but that stinks, doesn't it?
With about 100 rats accounted for and a strong desire for a shower, we call it a day.
Your boss is going to be happy because we've shot probably just under 100 or so. Yeah, I would say. Time for bed now, so we've got a shower. And a shower. I feel absolutely minging. Yeah. So I'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, thanks for coming, mate.
Thank you very much.
We've said it before and we'll say it again. There really is very little to beat a spot of high quality ratting with an air rifle. For more about the air gun that Kai was using, go to air-arms.co.uk. Our own air gun show, Airheads, is out tomorrow night, Thursday, so look out for that. Now, from creatures with scaly tails that nobody likes, to David on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. Glastonbury 2016 is over and leaving behind it a good comparison with the British countryside's game fairs. Glasgow revellers largely ignore the 15,000 bins and the festival employs 18,000 litter pickers to clean up afterwards, collecting more than 1,000 tonnes. By contrast, the game fair, which is a similar sized event, typically handles 140 tonnes of rubbish, almost all of it carefully placed in bins, and none of it going into landfill. The game fair this year takes place at Ragley Hall in Warwickshire on the last weekend in July. British TV network Channel 4 is putting out a programme about women lion hunters. On Wednesday the 29th of June at 9 p.m, it'll feature Rebecca Francis and Jacine Tredesco and looks at the abuse they get. You can watch it online via bit.ly/C4 Lions. The RSPCA in Australia has called for arrows to be registered. The animal rights organisation, which is part funded by Australian taxpayers, says that it'll help them track down offenders who inhumanely kill animals. Meanwhile, the RSPCA in Western Australia has come under fire from Australia's Parliament in a new report after it ran an advertising campaign against shooters. Staying down under, and a national park is considering bringing in sport hunters in order to protect ancient rock drawings. Invasive species such as buffalo are damaging the Aboriginal art, and rangers at Kakadu National Park cannot keep the numbers down. And finally, a rabbit snaring, beaver trapping, bear hunting great-great-grandmother from Newfoundland has died aged 96. Celie Smith never learned to read or write, and aged 87 snared and shot a bear that was marauding near her house in Hawke's Bay. This footage is from a CBC programme about her life. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. Next up, I went to Denmark to go stalking and face the music over Brexit. We have so little in common with Europe. Funny-shaped churches, 308 semi-autos, abundant game, rifle ranges where you can play golf with rifles, and things that go bang when you shoot them. I have come to Denmark to stalk deer and learn to stalk them better. First outing is with Danish YouTuber and writer David Carsten Pedersen.
Where we're hunting right now is one of my really good mates' place, and he's actually never shot a buck in this place. He's seen quite a few, and he's told me that there's one big 6-pointer that he'd really love me to shoot, and then he would like for me to take any buck out that looks weird with genetics that he doesn't want in the herd in general. This is classic roebuck hunting in Denmark. It's quite flat. We don't really have mountains and hills in general. It is pretty flat, so you always have to think about the background. It is very woody, but it's kind of goes in between fields and hedges and woods.
Well, we go in between those fields and hedges and we see one very shootable, doe. At the end of the stalk, David throws caution to the wind and sees if he can startle any deer in the long grass into standing up. You do this in Denmark by making a noise like Boris Johnson campaigning for Brexit. Ah! 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 It works. Up goes 2 heads, but they are also does. Then we have some trouble with national legislation.
We did see a buck right at the end. The problem was that in Denmark you can only shoot till sundown, and sundown is a particular time. It's not when you feel the sun is down. So the sun went down at 10 o'clock, and of course...
No, it didn't. The sun went down about 11:15.
Yeah. Well, the sun officially went down at 10 o'clock, even though it's still bloody daylight. Of course, the buck is standing right behind us, actually looking at us at a distance of about 70 meters, but rules are rules.
See, should have called up the EU and got them to standardise the hours in which we can shoot. Ha, joking. Later on, David and I go stalking here again. In the meantime, let's leave this stalk and find out how Danish hunters train by going to the extraordinary range at Ulfborg on Jutland. This is a hunter field shooting range, like an airgun HFT range, but for full bore hunters with running bore and pop-up row targets from 60 to 600 metres. We have been here before. We have made films from this event, a gathering of writers and YouTubers from across Europe, testing out their skills and the products of sponsoring companies. The difference this year is that they are, most of them, fairly angry. What are they angry about? Boris Johnson. Let's get this European referendum thing out of the way first. This is what most of Europe's hunters think about us.
Yeah, I am sad about that, and I hope that I still can hunt in England and have my friends there, and they still can easily visit me in Germany.
If we lose you, I think it will be not good for you.
La unión hace la fuerza, y que Inglaterra se separe de Europa significa que está debilitando Europa y se está debilitando ella misma.
We had a thing, a really nice thing. Maybe the relationship was sometimes a little bit bothered by some of the other people involved as well. It happens. That's how a relationship goes. But
happily, here is a Swedish guy who says we Brits have done the right thing, as he said on our show a couple of weeks ago.
If it hadn't been for you, we'd have voted to stay in Europe.
Of course, I take full credit for the results of the referendum, of course. But you proved to be sensible people, after all. We are very happy about that. Thank you.
Okay, just outline again, what is wrong with Europe?
Well, the UK is not in it anymore. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? No, Europe is one huge, big bureaucracy. I cannot say that now.
That's okay.
Europe is hugely bureaucratic. It's too much. It's too much power concentrated. Nobody knows who does what, and they want to interfere in every single little thing we do. And as a hunter coming from Sweden, we are so tired of Europe because they get involved in everything and they just make our lives miserable.
Back to the shooting, and it's a competition between the media folk as well as a chance for the sponsors to prove that their products work at a range of ranges. Not everyone is having the easiest of times.
Jules, do you absolutely love using your sticks?
I adore them. They're gorgeous, especially when I remember to set them right.
What's good about using sticks when you're kneeling?
Well, it would be really good if they were sticks that were designed to be used when you were kneeling. For sticks when they're designed to be used standing, not so much.
With this particular situation that we're putting the shooters in today, throughout the day, gives them a chance to use our V8 rifle scope, which is the world's most versatile rifle scope as far as the magnification range goes. You can shoot really any distance in any setting and use the scope. So what we've done here is we've set up different scenarios, running shots, still shots, where the user may even have to switch back and forth using the ASV, which is our great tool. So it lets you match the caliber bullet to the ballistic drop. So they'll be in a situation where they shoot one target and have to quickly change to another range and shoot again. So it puts them in a great situation for utilizing all the great features of this product.
If you have not come across the ASV, it's Zeiss's revolutionary, literally, way of clicking your reticle onto your target with a special ring matched to your caliber. And it doesn't even get in the way of setting your zero. Here is Thomas Danielsen from Zeiss getting seriously techie as he zeroes.
You can easily, if you want, leave some negative clicks. Then you just have to remember not to just to put it all the way to the zero stop, but to 1. I mean, it's I do it like that, but you have to know what you're doing, especially if you're hunting in the dark and you can't see the numbers. Then it's nice to have a zero stop.
Meanwhile, rifle maker Zauer is talking about a new version of its new 404 rifle, the XTC.
It's a carbon version, it's a carbon fiber stock. It's 2.7 kilograms, so it's for those hunters who don't want to carry a 3 or 4 kilogram rifle all up to the mountains, for those who has to follow the deers, or for those who has to go where the animals are.
And it's got gadgets. It's got stuff.
Yes, we have also new gadgets here. In the forend we have the ZUS tool. This is for sampling or disassembling the rifle, and now we have an adapter. I have it in my pocket and can put a bipod in the forend. This is a new Sauer Pro Flex bipod. You can just put it over here, click it with a magnet, and then you have a bipod and can hunt with a bipod. It's very flexible. It helps you by every movement to find your target, and also it has a nice feature. You can flip it in an upright position so that it don't disturb you while you are stalking. We can adjust the trigger from the 404. We can adjust the trigger position. We can adjust it 8 millimeters forward or backward. So we can angle it 5 degrees to the right and to the left side. And we also can adjust the trigger pull weights. Therefore, just go with the ZUS tool in the forend, just a quarter turn. And then you can see here, we can adjust the trigger pull weights from 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is 500 grams, 2 is 750 grams, 1000 grams, and 1250 grams. So we have a silencer right now. So it's Titanium Pro, is it called? It's a very light one. It depends on the caliber. Yep. So it's by around about, it's between 25 and 30 decibel less.
So basically it takes it underneath the EU noise regulation.
Yes.
For noise in the workplace.
Yeah, it does. If you aim here, then you're good to go all the way back. It's a dead pick.
We are here to prove the one man, one rifle theory, plus one scope, one bullet, and even one pair of trousers.
One of the newest products is the pants that Morten is wearing, which is a very lightweight product, and it's great for summer hunting and hikes, and it has a great flexibility. It's full stretch and very light material.
Are they comfortable?
I would say so.
Yeah, but you're paid to say so.
Yeah, of course. So I don't count. No, but I see some of the other guys are wearing it as well, and of course they're also paid to say so, but they do it anyway.
Yeah, they seem to be anyway. Yes, we've got British people wearing orange.
Yes, that was one of my.
That's a new one.
One of my goals for this event. Yeah.
Back to the competition, and one theme of the event is the number of YouTubers they let in.
Not exactly YouTuber, because we make a TV program about hunting in Polish. After the broadcasting on TV, we put it to the internet, and all people can see this on YouTube channel. This event is really fantastic. Something like this we don't have in Poland. We don't have so big place when we can shoot on so long distances, 300, 500, even 600 like here. We can train, but only mostly 200 meters is the long distances.
And who is the winner? Why, it is a YouTuber. It's Marius from the German Wild Boar Fanatic channel, one of my favourites.
A YouTuber winner. That's fantastic. You happy?
Yeah. Yes. Of course.
Did you think you'd won it? Let me show a picture.
No.
No chance.
Applause all round. We leave the noise to go back to the tranquility of stalking with David. It's a beautiful, misty summer morning. Until the sun has dried the high grasses, we expect to see deer on the rides because they don't want to get their tummies wet. And we are not disappointed. David gets within a few feet of this doe.
The first animal we saw this morning was a doe standing in a small clearing, a small road. She got pretty close. We got within about 30 meters, 40 meters tops. One of the problems about getting very, very close to deer is that sometimes you have to get around the deer. And she didn't really cooperate because she kept walking towards us. Walking in and walking in and walking in, and I experienced that quite often. The trick when you're that close to an animal is just to stay still and let her do her thing, because if we start going boo or start scaring her off, then she would be really cross with us and go bah, 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 bah. And then the whole thing starts to move, and then the game is up.
Our second close encounter comes in more of a rush. An animal jumps out and David is onto it.
The rifle just pops up, flop, and unfortunately it's a doe. She's standing 15 to 20 meters away, looking at us, trying to figure out what we are, because she can't really tell. But if that was a buck, then we would have had to meet in the larder. And it just shows that the more time you spend with your rifle in your hands at the range, the easier it becomes for you when you're in the field to just make that opportunity count. You don't always have to take the shot to know that you've had a successful day with your rifle.
It was a successful day with many rifles, thanks to Zeiss, Harkila, Zauer and Hornady for the training, and thanks to David for a fascinating insight into Danish stalking. From Denmark to the wider world of hunting and shooting on YouTube, it is Hunting YouTube. This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the best hunting and shooting videos that YouTube has to offer. First up, some lovely roebuck shots in Hunting Fever's new film Jakt im Juni, which means hunting in June. Pure Instinct Hunting TV introduced itself, so to speak, in a comment on our channel. It makes films like this one about hog hunting with dogs. It is Buck McNeely's second film in a year, and for this one he's back in Africa after hippo. This was filmed on the Zambezi River in Mozambique. Moving to the USA, the Dart Man and his neighbour have made some spectacular shots on coyotes recently. This one is out at 650 yards. Meanwhile, Coyote Hunting 2, Spot and Stalk, has Cheyenne River predator hunters putting down a couple of educated coyotes. Avid Hunter brings out a New Zealand goat hunting film. It's his annual goat hunt in the King Country with friends Vaughan and Chris. HowToHunt.com has made it his mission to educate us, and these films are good, even worth downloading and taking with you when you go out hunting. This one is about mountain goats. And finally, the US has guns in its blood so much it has gun writers on its local newspapers. This one, Lee Williams of Florida newspaper the Sarasota Herald Tribune, also has a YouTube channel called The Gun Writer. Here he is looking at a 3-gun shooting sport. That's it for this week. If you have a YouTube film you would like us to pop into the weekly top 8, send it in via YouTube or email me the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Well, that is it for this week. We're back next week. If you haven't done so already, please go to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv. You can click to subscribe to us on YouTube there, or like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter, or pop your email address into our constant contact box on the register page, and we'll constantly contact you about this show, Fieldsports Britain, that's out at 7 PM UK time every Wednesday. And this has been Fieldsports Britain. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.